Welcome to Kyalami for round one of the Midas Historic Tour. After their long break, the drivers are keen to get back into their cars and onto the track. With such enthusiasm from everyone and 218 cars entered, the stage is set for a great day's racing. History in Motion is proudly brought to you by Midas Sport, Gumtree, Mitsubishi Electric and our associated sponsors.
Gumtree is the largest website in South Africa, and one of our verticals, of course, is auto. We are focusing now very much on auto, and we want to convey to the consumer that we are serious about motor racing and auto. And this is our investment, if you like, in motor racing. We believe that motor racing needs to be resurrected in South Africa, and we're very proud to be part of the process here today, and we're here for the long haul.
Faster lap times, smoother cornering, exceed your vision as Mike Schmidt gives you the lowdown on turn one at Kyalami.
Here we are at turn one at Kyalami racetrack. We're heading down at turn one. It's a very, very quick corner. It requires a bit of a late turn in, and to ensure that you keep the car to the right-hand side of the road as you exit the corner, which is made even more difficult because you're going so quickly. The real trick here is to make sure you position yourself on the left-hand side of the racetrack. This is the pit exit here, and you want to bring your car as far over to this white line as you possibly can get it. You want to travel down here, and when you get to this point of the racetrack, in actual fact, there's a small mark on the racetrack over here. You want to start turning in. You're going to hit that apex late. So in other words, you want to get your car over to the right-hand side onto the apex as late in the second half of that concrete piece, not right here in the beginning. If you apex in the beginning, your car's going to run off the line and you're going to be in completely the wrong position to take turn number two. I'm standing right on the apex point of turn number one. We're going to keep our cars down the right-hand side as close to this red and white curve as we can. What is not really evident in any kind of TV footage is the gradient and the elevation change as you come out of turn one down towards turn two. So the cars are naturally falling away or trying to pull themselves away from this inside line, and the extra speed that you're carrying in here is making that even worse. So the trick here is to approach turn one absolutely flat out and keep your car on the right-hand side of the road as you approach down into turn number two.
After a few months of good food and relaxation, it's time for the Marque Car competitors to dust off their overalls and squeeze back into the driver's seat as race one is about to get underway. Leading the field off the line will be the newcomer Tegan Lation in a veteran Marque Car that formerly belonged to Michelle Scott. Werner Hartzenberg in his Porsche 356 will start just 1 second behind her. Chasing the pack from the back will be Stuart Grant in his Mercedes.
My brother Bert's been racing for the last 18 months, and I've been helping him come into every race, and that's how I got involved. A guy up the road in his back garden had been standing there for 15 years, had not been driven, started or moved in 15 years. So for the last 18 months I've been building it up, and yes, it's been long, hard hours. It's a Mark 1, it's a 1969 model. It's got a standard Kent motor in here. It's just got a cam in here and a slightly modified carburetor and just a free flow exhaust. That's it. It's not a modern car, so you don't have the power steering and the power brakes and stuff, so it's a little bit difficult to drive, but it's lovely. It brings back old memories.
It's a 1970 9146. There's none of them in South Africa. When we wanted to purchase one, we looked all over South Africa and we actually found one in America. So we brought it in 1996 from California, and we've had it ever since. 30,000 914s were built, and 3,000 9146 were built. It's the first mid-engine Porsche that was built. I'll only use this car for Marque Cars. It's actually such a nice car. I feel too sorry to use it in other races. I don't want to hurt it.
My father races this Scirocco, and I've supported him, and I thought it would be something nice for us to do together. Michelle Scott was selling the car, and I bought it on Wednesday, and I'm racing today. My plan for my first race is to finish, and finish well. I'm here to have fun, and I'm here to learn, and it will be good.
How does Michelle Scott feel watching her old car on the start line?
It's a bit of a mixed emotion, actually. I'm glad that it's gone to another driver that's going to race it on the track, but always sad not to be in the car. So it's exciting but sad at the same time.
How is Dad feeling?
Fantastic seeing her all motivated and nervous and excited, and new car, and she loves it. So all at once, all mixed emotions for her, but yeah, she's loving it.
I think a few mixed emotions for Dad as well as he watches Tegan pull off the line and begin the first lap of her racing career. Werner Hartzenberg is hot on her heels as the pair head towards turn 1. In the background, Nick van Veek has pulled off the start line and he will begin his chase. Andre Reineke in his Porsche 928S start at 12th and has 2 minutes 44 seconds to make up on Tegan. Oh, someone off in the kitty litter there. It looks like Martin van der Merwe in the MGB GT. He makes his way back onto the track. Stuart Grant recovering from a spin in his Mercedes-Benz. He makes his way back onto the track and up the hill. Heading up to the Old West Bank, and it's almost 3 abreast, and Steven Neofitu in his Mini is hounded by Colin Keane, and a recovering Martin van der Merwe powers down the outside of Neofitu as the trio head down the mine shaft. Into turn 3, and it's Ray Cornelissen in his red Alfa leading Ronelle Gerber in her special Porsche 9146. It's really a great looking car. On board with Ronelle now as she puts the power down, heading towards sunset and flies past Cornelissen. Coming down the main straight is rookie driver Rob van Aal in his baby blue Ford Escort ahead of the other rookie Tegan Leischen. Behind them, Bert van Aal stands no chance of fending off the Porsche 9146 with Ronelle Gerber at the wheel. Coming through the S's is second place man Rob van Aal, who is looking calm and confident in his first race. It is his turn now to be reeled in by the hard-charging Porsche 9146 of Gerber. Bert van Aal has caught up with Tegan Leischen and he makes his move as they head up the hill to Westbank. Bert having a great race in his Capri and will be anxious to catch his less experienced brother ahead of him. Down the inside comes Andrew Wilson in the green and yellow Marque Cars. He takes third position off Van Aal and goes in hunt of the leading pair. Ronelle Gerber takes the checkered flag and Andrew Wilson slips past Rob Van Aal, crossing the line under 4/10 of a second ahead. Quilla de Klerk sneaks past Bert Van Aal to beat him to the checkered flag by just over half a second. Tegan Leischen follows Van Aal over the line. Those may have been the positions over the line, but with the top 4 cars breaking out, that left Bert Van Aal with a win in race 1. Ray Cornelissen takes second with Andre Reineke in third. Let's hear from the race winner.
Great fun. I was chasing him for a long time. Unfortunately, the last 2 or 3 laps, I started losing a bit of power. But yeah, the gap might still have been 4 seconds, which is what it was started. So we might well be within half a second of each other after 8 laps, which I don't think is bad at all for his first time and me chasing him.
It went very well until about lap 5, and then I had virtually no brakes, so I was basically using my gears to brake. But yeah, I finished well, and I'm very happy because it's my first race. It was a little bit nerve-wracking because I know that he's not going to be kind to me. If he does bash me or bump me, he's not going to feel sorry for me because we're brothers. But it was very nice, good, clean fun.
It was very, very good. I had a shaky start where I went from first to fourth, and then I dropped down to second, and it became a bit better. And as I went on, I got a bit faster and a bit more confidence. I was passed by the man behind me, and then I caught him down the mine shaft, which was a good race. And I've heard that I've broke out twice in one race, so hopefully the next race will be a bit more consistent, and we'll see where we go from there. The car is handling very, very well. I'm so super chuffed, but I did get it in good condition already racing, so I was lucky there.
Race 2, and a little bit of rain has started to fall to make track conditions a bit wet in some places. Werner Hartzenberg in his immaculately turned out Porsche 356 currently leads the field. He started 40 seconds ahead of Tegan Leischen. On the start-finish straight, Andrew Wilson waits patiently for his start time. It looks like Tegan Leischen has had a spin coming out of the final bend. The wet conditions catching her out, it would seem. The red Alfa of Ray Cornelissen is hot on the heels of Bert van Aal in his yellow Capri. Down the inside of turn 4, the Alfa makes his move. Van Aal fights back though and plants his foot on the accelerator. Martin van der Merwe getting himself well and truly beached from the kitty litter. Into sunset, Van Aal holds the inside line. Cornelissen comes around the outside and powers ahead to clubhouse. Marshall's coming to the aid of Van der Merwe as they push him back onto the track. Up into Westbank, and younger brother Rob powers past Bert van Aal and nabs the position from him. Cameron McLeod and his little MGB Roadster having a good run as he passes the slower Porsche 356 of Hartzenberg. Stuart Grant passes Martin van der Merwe, both cars having had excursions on the damp track in race 2. The full field is still circulating as the cars start to catch up and overtake each other in this Marque Cars race. Ray Cornelissen leads the yellow Ford Escort of Lation. Behind her is Rob van Aal in his Ford Escort, who is looking for a way past as he climbs up the order. Out of the mine shaft and into the bowl. Rob van Aal managed to pass Tegan Lation and moves up into 4th position. The red Alpha GTV of Cornelissen will be his next target. Into the S's, Ronel Gerber leads the trio of Leon Boerter, Colin Keane and Cameron McLeod, who are locked in battle. McLeod dives down the inside of the Big Merc and picks up 1 spot on Colin Keane. Andrew Wilson in the green and yellow Marque Cars powers his way up the hill, and he will be challenging for the position. Over the crest, and we can see Wilson has passed on the outside of Cameron McLeod and is looking through the outside of the blue Alpha of Leon Boerter. He hasn't quite got the legs yet. Heading down the mine shaft, Boerter goes very wide, and Wilson doesn't need to be asked twice as he takes advantage and sails past. Diving down the inside of Gerber as they go through the bowl. Up the hill to turn 13, and Stuart Grant has come through and runs alongside Leon Boerter as they head into the bend. Cameron McLeod will be feeling the pressure as they descend to turn 14. Gerber, Grant and McLeod side by side down the hill into the bend. Gerber has the advantage for now, and the battle is really heating up, unusually for this stage in a Marque Cars race. We are halfway through, and these are the sort of battles you would expect to find towards the end of the race when the field bunch up. The rain obviously has had a hand in this. Gerber, McLeod, Grant nose to tail through turn 1. McLeod jumping on the brakes and almost running up the back of Ronel there. Grant having to dive to the right to avoid a collision, but has actually managed to get past Cameron McLeod in the process. Grant now goes on the inside of Gerber, making his way past an upper position as they go through turn 4. McLeod takes his chance and follows Grant's line through passing the Porsche 9146 of Gerber. Ronel fights back and puts the power down as they race to sunset and retake the position. Ahead of them going into sunset is Willy Grobler's Lotus leading the Marque Cars of Andrew Wilson. Up to Clubhouse, and Wilson has lined up the outside of Grobler and will make his way past the slower car. Behind them, Grant has managed to put a bit of tarmac between himself and the chasing pack. Gerber coming under pressure again from McLeod, who takes the outside line around Clubhouse and convincingly moves ahead of Gerber. Leon Boerter tries to follow McLeod through, but Ronel's not taking it easy as she defends her line into the S's. Piling into the corner. Boerter takes to the grass and is the big loser. Colin Keane goes round his outside to avoid Boerter and sets off in pursuit of Gerber. The little Porsche 9146 has put up a good fight, but eventually the might of Keane's Mercedes wins the day as he makes his way past and disappears down the back straight. Coming round the final bend on the last lap is race leader Ray Cornelissen in his red Alfa Romeo GTV. The checkered flag is waiting for him, and Cornelissen holds on for victory in race 2. Charging hard down the straight is Andrew Wilson, who takes second, a mere second behind the race winner. Confirmation of the results, Stuart Grant came home in 3rd. Rob van Aal and Cameron McLeod separated by just under 0.3 of a second, taking 4th and 5th respectively. Great action from the Marque Cars.
I've raced in Australia quite a lot in my 30s and 40s, and now coming into South Africa for work and really enjoying the motorsport scene here. And so I've started again here because the scene is so vibrant and so easy. Yeah? It's so relaxing to race here.
This interesting race. He's a lot faster than I am. I knew he was coming, so just tried to get the car through the corners as quickly as I can, because I knew if the race was a half a lap longer, he would have caught me.
It was fantastic. I started last, and I had a lot of cars to pass,
but eventually I got almost all the way, and I think another couple of 100 metres and I would have been just past Ray.
Join us after the break for more great action from the Midas Historic Tour.